Hello everyone, welcome back to Full Invasion. This is the Crusader States versus the Demons. I decided to be an archer because it's something that I don't do normally as a Crusader. Also, because of this map, I knew that the amount of fighting space being on the bridge is kind of limited. So I figured maybe the most contribution I can do would be firing this bow. That doesn't really seem to have that good of a range. Just kind of have to arc the shots there a little bit. Oh, you see that shot? It's pretty good, right? That was skillfully aimed. Just like these shots are. Trying to get this stupid crossbowman. Come on! That looked like a hit. I call BS. Yeah, hit his foot. Come on! Ah, close. At least back here we get to see all the action. I'll tell you what, the one thing I do enjoy about this map is that you don't have to worry about anybody riding a horse and running around in circles, doing the delaying cab tactic thing. Doesn't really happen in this map. There's not enough room. And I like that. So one good thing I'll say about the map. Try to be on the positive side, you know? Speaking about positive, Star Wars Beta, been playing that a lot. It is pretty good. I've enjoyed a lot of things about it. Some things I don't enjoy about it. But mostly, I enjoy it. Oh, get hit in the... wherever I hit you. I don't even know where I hit you. Are those potatoes? Oh, missed. What the? The bad guys are flying. This wave is very susceptible to the archer fire. I don't know if I talked much about Transformers Devastation on my Mountain Blade series yet, but that was also a pretty fun game. Pretty fun game if you're into Transformers. I'm not even super into Transformers, but I thought it was a fun game. The combat was very solid in that one. Pretty quick though. Pretty quick. I would have definitely cut the price of that game. I mean, ideally in half, but I mean, people have to make money, right? So I would say 30 would be an acceptable price for that game instead of 50. Because the thing is, it's fun, but it's short. And there's so many other games coming out that are going to be about the same price, or maybe $10 more expensive if you're in the US. I don't know what it's going to be like anywhere else in the world. But I'm talking about, you know, like Fallout 4, talking about, well, Star Wars Battlefront, StarCraft Legacy comes out, I think the same day as Fallout 4. The new Tomb Raider game, if you like the new Tomb Raiders, which they seem like solid games. I haven't played the new one. Well, new one being a couple years ago now, but they look like solid games. What else is coming out? Halo 5 is coming out. I don't have an Xbox One, so I'm not going to play that, but I'm sure Halo fans will enjoy that. I would like to play it, but I don't want to buy an Xbox One just to play Halo 5. Seems like a... maybe not the most responsible decision with the money. What else is coming out? We have Warhammer Vermintide, basically Left 4 Dead Warhammer style, which is not a knock on the game. I say that because Left 4 Dead is a great game, and Warhammer Vermintide, definitely, those people like Left 4 Dead because they built that game, but for Warhammer. And that's awesome. I have no problem with that, because that genre, as far as I know, there haven't, to my knowledge, haven't been any real successful games that copied Left 4 Dead. Just like straight up copied, maybe add a little to it. I don't remember any other game like Left 4 Dead that did it like Left 4 Dead. Maybe there are some kind of games in the similar genre, but I've never heard of them. Feel free to leave them in the comment section if you know of any other games that are basically Left 4 Dead. But anyway, that's coming out at the end of the month, and you're probably going to get a lot of time out of it. Like, my point is that all of these games are going to be about the same price or just slightly more expensive, but you're going to get more hours out of them, you know? A lot more, like Fallout 4, if you're into that. StarCraft, if you're into that, you know? A lot more hours of fun for your money. So that's why I kind of find it odd that Transformers released at the price that it did, because it... compared to these other games, it's not worth it, but it is fun, you know, and I feel like it needs its due. It's not the best game in the world, but it was fun. I just wish it was cheaper so more people would buy it and support Platinum Games and this recent project of theirs. But like, I can't knock people for not buying it. With all these other awesome games coming out that are going to give you a lot more time for your money, like, and just so many different types of games, you know. It's not like Fallout 4 is just the one game coming out. There's so many, so many. And as a person who covers games, it's a nightmare because there's so many of those that I want to cover. There's only so much time and money that I have to spend on games to, you know, cover them. Oh man. Think if Bannerlord came out this year, how awesome would that be? But also crazy. Wish it would come out this year, but they still haven't announced a release date for Bannerlord, have they? Yeah. But yeah, Star Wars Battlefront. That was a game that I was on the fence about, but now that I've put a lot of hours into it, I am probably going to pick that up. Again, there are some issues with it, but overall I've had a lot of fun, and I want to see what the full game is like, see what all the items they have, the customization for your character. I don't think it's going to be that extensive, but there will be something in there. The ship fighting, I've really enjoyed flying, you know, A-Wings, TIE Fighters, X-Wings. I've really enjoyed that part of the game. And they have an entire mode set out for that where it's just going to be dogfighting. You, other people, and I believe it's against AI as well. AI is going to be thrown in there. No space battles, which is unfortunate, to say the least. But maybe that'll be a DLC down the road. Because, like, let's look at DICE and EA and Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 had us over a year of DLC, because they just released another DLC, what, like a month ago or 2 months ago? So that'd be almost 2 years, right? Yeah. Battlefield 4 came out 2013, right? At the end of 2000? Hold on. Or was it just last year? No, yeah, it was the end of 2013. Wait. Yeah. I'm almost positive it was the end of 2013 when Battlefield 4 came out, because then we had a beta of Battlefield Hardline in 2014, and then Battlefield Hardline came out in 2015. I don't even. Anyway, there was a lot of DLC for Battlefield 4. Is my point. A lot of it, and a lot of it was good. So I'm fully expecting there to be a ton of DLC for Star Wars Battlefront. And if it does really well, then there'll be more for it, supported over the next year or two. A downside to Battlefront is the fact that, unless this has changed, and I missed the news story, EA is going to be running all of the servers. Last I heard, they weren't allowing people to make their own servers for Battlefront. No server browser that I know of. But yeah, the main point, EA is running all the servers, which means they're in total control. So let's say, you know, Star Wars Battlefront 2 comes out because Star Wars Battlefront 1 was so successful. They can release it next fall, you know, a year from now. And then their message will be, well, to support the new Battlefront game, we're going to stop supporting the last game, shut down the servers, and put those servers and money into the new game. Kinda sucks that you can't play Battlefront 1 anymore. Oh well, guess you gotta buy Battlefront 2. And I mean, that's gonna happen. Like, it's so obvious that that's gonna happen. Now, what I think what they'll do is most likely when they release Battlefront 2, I'm assuming there's gonna be a second one, because I'm assuming this one's gonna be pretty successful with the new movies coming out. Everyone's gonna want to be, you know, Star Wars. So what I'm expecting EA to do, and DICE, is that when Battlefront 2 comes out, I'm going to assume in 2 years. I don't think they're going to get another one out next year. That'd be silly. Probably 2 years from now at the earliest. Battlefront 2 will come out, and then they'll continue to support Battlefront 1 servers for a time. A little bit of time. But then I think they will eventually shut them down. I would assume maybe a couple months after Battlefront 2 comes out. Forcing players to buy Battlefront 2. What would be really cool is at some point down the line, they release support for people to create their own servers for Battlefront. That would be the nice thing to do. But companies aren't actually... they're just in the business of making money. So I can hope that EA and DICE will eventually put server support. Maybe they already did, and again, I missed the news story announcing this. But hopefully along the line, they'll allow us players to create our own servers so that Battlefront 1 will continue to live on after Battlefront 2 comes out. I don't... I'm leaning more towards that they're going to cut support of Battlefront when Battlefront 2 comes out and force players to buy a new game. That's what I'm leaning towards. I'm hoping that's not the case, but... you know, like I just said, EA is in the business of making money. I don't see any other reason why they would really choose to go down this route of only having EA servers as your option, you know? It's so they could be in more control of their product. It's so that players can't continue the game's legacy after it's no longer supported by EA, you know? Kind of like Battlefront 2 was supported for a long time. Like, I think there's still Battlefront 2 servers going on right now. Because I remember I bought it on Steam like a year ago, and I just was like, is this still a thing? And yeah, it's still totally a thing. People still play Battlefront 2, at least a year ago. I haven't checked it since then, but it was pretty crazy to see Battlefront 2 still running, and that's awesome. But I don't think that's going to be happening with this new Battlefront. That's a big worry of mine. Cause like what? Oh wow, just the one hit, huh? Just the one hit, man. And I've also been thinking about making my thoughts on Battlefront video, because I've been asked to actually. Which this is the first time anyone's asked me to do a my thoughts video on a game was Star Wars Battlefront. I've gotten only a few people have suggested it, but it's more than none. And I'm like, you know, that may not be a bad idea. So I may talk more about this in that video if I make it. I don't know if I will or not. Because I've seen a lot of those videos already. But the reason kind of why I would want to make it is because my view on the beta has changed in terms of balancing. And I really want to point that out in the video. And also the thing is, like, my thoughts on the beta, like, everything I may say about this could be totally changed in a month from now when the actual game's released. You know, any balancing concerns I have. Weapons and items that are in currently that I think are just OP. I'm looking at the machine gun laser. That thing is so dumb. So dumb. Like, there's really no reason to use any other weapon if you want to win. But anyway. I'll talk more about that if I do a my thoughts video. Looks like we got our butts handed to us. I got punched in the face one time and I just went down for the count. Man, there's still 14 left of them. Not impossible. In fact, they have a good chance. They got a horse person left. There's a new, I've mentioned it a couple times, but a new Tales game. One of the JRPG series of Tales. Coming out in... When is this video going to go up? Like 8 days, I think? From the time of this video going up? Tales of Zestria? I really gotta look that up again. But it's coming out on Steam. It's going to be the first PC release of a new Tales game that I know of, anyway. And I'm very excited to cover it. Not something that I've really done much of on my channel, but I do like JRPG games. I grew up with them. I'm not sure how popular the series is going to be, which is unfortunate because a Tales game is going to be a long game. And that's not a bad thing, you know, JRPG games can be long. Actually, most of them are long, at least the ones that I played. But like the thing is, Tales of Vesperia is one of my favorite RPGs. Do I say of all time? Do I put those words? I'll just say one of my favorite RPGs I've played. Maybe not of all time, but definitely it ranks up there for me. So I'm really looking forward to this newest Tales game, and I really hate that Tales of Xillia 1 and 2 have not been either ported to the PC or made to be available on the PS4. They're PS3 games only, and there's a PS4 program that is basically emulating PS3 games that's going on right now, and they're slowly adding titles, you know, over the course of months, but the Tales of Xillia series hasn't gotten on there yet, or else I would be covering it on the channel right now. Oh, and I accidentally just turned off my monitor. I can't see anything. I hear stuff. There we go. Alright, but anyway, so it kind of sucks because I haven't covered JRPG games that much, so I don't expect the people who watch my channel to necessarily also be fans of JRPGs, so I don't think it's going to be that popular of a series, but I really want to cover it. I want to play it, and it's going to be a long one, so it's just going to be a lot of time devoted to a series that I don't think is going to get much attention. And that's sad as a creator, you know? Not creator, that's a generous term for what I do. That's sad for a person who does Let's Plays, let's say that. I'm not really a creator, I didn't make the game. It'd be cool if I did. That'd be awesome. So yeah, I'm looking forward to covering that in the next week or two. But then, you know, that's going to be probably like a 50-hour game, right? And then next month is crazy. It's just crazy. Fallout 4 is going to be a long game. StarCraft Legacy of the Void. I want to do the campaign. I don't have much interest in the multiplayer part of it, but I do love the campaigns of StarCraft games and Warcraft games. Always have. Because they're pretty good. What else? Just so many games. Battlefront comes out next month. You know, so many games, man. So many games. There's still another game I want to cover right now that's in early access called Thea the Awakening. And this is crazy. Earlier I mentioned how I got a couple messages saying I should do my thoughts on Star Wars. Over the past couple weeks, I've gotten a lot of messages, personal messages, asking me to cover Thea the Awakening. This is an early access game, and it is cool. I have it. I've played some of it to learn the ropes. I just haven't gotten around to doing a series on it yet. But a lot of people, to the point where I'm like, this never happens. Not this many people ever tell me to cover a game, especially one that's not really that well known as far as I know. It seems kind of under the radar right now because it's in early access. But it is a cool game. It's a very cool game, and I will do a series on it. But like, it got me thinking, like, is this just a developer just sending me messages under different accounts? Like, yeah, yo, cover my game. Because I never get these many messages. It's crazy. I don't actually think it's a developer. It's just a lot of people that I guess watch my channel are interested in Thea the Awakening. And for good reason. It's a really cool game. I will get around to it. For those of you who are watching this episode. And who have also sent me messages. Yeah, I want to cover that. My problem is, though, I don't really like covering early access games. Some games I still do because they're just awesome, like Thea, so I will cover it in an early access phase. But I like to wait for the games to be released, you know? Ideally. I don't know why I'm in melee right now. I'm kind of been on just autopilot this whole episode as I'm talking. Did it say I ran out of ammo? Is that why I went in melee? No, I still have ammo. Seriously, when I say autopilot, I mean autopilot. I've just been focusing on talking this whole episode. And my subconscious is taking control of the game. I was actually shocked when I kind of came to after talking and I was in the melee. I was like, wait, what am I doing here? It's weird. It's weird. When there's something you've done so much that it's kind of like muscle memory, and then you snap out of it and you're like, what am I doing? It's like that. When you do a task over and over and over again to the point where you can just do it without thinking. That's how far I've gotten into Mountain Blade Full Invasion. I can just do it without thinking. It's a weird feeling. But anyway, to recap this video, a lot of awesome games are coming out this fall. A lot of awesome games. Some I'm not even going to be able to cover that I would like to. Tomb Raider's a game I'd probably like to cover, but there's already other games that take precedence over Tomb Raider. Disgaea 5 came out this week that I wanted to try and cover that, but it's going to be a long game and I just don't have the time for it. What else? Yeah, I think that covers most of the game. Oh yeah, Halo 5. I'd like to cover that one too, but I don't have an Xbox One. Nor will I get one for Halo 5. Also, I feel like I would also need to play Halo 4. Which, obviously I haven't, because I don't have an Xbox. But anyway, yeah, a lot of cool games coming out this fall. I'm going to cover as many as I can. Let's call that an episode. How about that? Yeah, I like the sound of that. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you all next time. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just losing my mind.